All right, hello everybody, welcome to another stream. Let's get started. So today is gonna be also a short one because you guessed it. Once again, I have lots of things to do, so sadly I cannot do a proper stream. And it seems that now it's just been quite the common theme for such a long time, but sadly, yeah, I cannot do more, and at the very least I can scrap some an hour to be streaming and to be able to chat with you guys and share a little bit of my work. So let's go. So for today, I'm not gonna do any more keyframes because I'm done with those. I will share with you the results of all of them. In case of you are interested as well, I just post them. I think it was last week on my ArtStation page, but I will definitely just share them with you now today. But for today, I'm gonna continue following this trend of you could say cinema, film, TV oriented work based on the 40k universe, and I will be focusing on trying to do character design / costume design for what could be Gregor Eisenhorn for a film or TV series. And I will be using as model for the character as a cast the actor that I believe for me is like the best cast fitting the character, which would be Jason Isaac. And as you will see, I have already used him in previous keyframes depicted as Eisenhorn, because for me, I think he's one of the actors that that fit better the role, in my opinion. I think he's in that middle ground age of amateur Eisenhorn, but not too old. And has this middle ground between being a hero, but also this like evil look to it, which fits so well Eisenhorn. So that's what we are going to be doing today. So let's ahead. Let's see. Here it is. Okay, so well, first let me share with you the keyframes that I did. Well, before anything, just let's not forget our. Let me 1 second. Our cozy background ambient sound. Okay. And let's start. Hi, hello, welcome to the stream. Hello, how are you doing? Okay, so for this, perhaps the best way would be doing like this, I guess. Let's see how can you see it. Okay, not bad. Hello, everybody. Hello, welcome. So yeah, so this is one of the keyframes. So as you can see, it's featuring Jason Isaac as well as Eisenhorn, and this is supposed to depict a moment where they are raiding somebody's home to interrogate him or something, and I'm giving some hints with some chaos marks. Maybe here is a little bit too distorted, but it's supposed to be a chaos mark on the neck. And yeah, so just to create like that a scene to recreate like how it could be looking into a film or series. Let's see. Let's see another one. So we have this one that I think I shared already in a previous stream because it was one of the first ones I did. So again, the same thing. Trying to recreate an encounter between two characters. In this case would be Mechanicus priest of some kind and an enforcer. So a policeman within the Imperium. Not the same as an Arbites. A lot of people get confused with that. So it's like a proper policeman. In an indeterminate setting. Let's see. Then I did this one. So obviously a sister of battle and in some sort of urban landscape, and I thought it could be very cinematic and with a sunset, etc., etc. So I'm pretty pleased with this one. Then let's move to this one. So here the main focus was an attempt to recreate a little bit of the scale and magnitude of some of the structures in this setting, right? And yeah, that's that sense of titanic scale that that exists in the Imperium and well other places, of course. So trying to play with that, like just putting somebody there in the foreground against like this. Yeah, this should be gigantic. And this one, another one that I'm very pleased with. So trying to depict the aftermath of a battle. And now the question is, can anybody guess what is the chapter of this Space Marine? Any guess? Let's go. There are some hints in this image. Nope, not white scars. Let's zoom in a little bit. The Blasphemer. No idea, I only know chaos stuff. Of course, with that name, I'm not surprised. But it is okay. But no, not white scars. Okay, look a little bit closer for any hints. Lobos lunares or lunar wolves? No. No. I mean, it couldn't be lunar wolves because this is a Primaris armor, so this is not the 30k universe. I mean, well, not during the Horus heresy time. Malevolent Marines? No, neither. Or Wall Eaters? Wall Eaters could be a little bit closer because of the colors, but no, neither. Haha. All right. The insignia is this one. And of course, it's inverted because they are facing the other way around, but it's the Iron Snakes It's an absolutely fantastic and super cool chapter. If you are interested, there are, if not several, at the very least, there is a single novel by Dan Abnett where he dives into the culture and background of this chapter. Is absolutely fantastic. It's super, super nice. Think a little bit with a certain Greek mythology theme type of chapter. So it's very, very cool. So yeah, so the idea was to depict the aftermath of a battle with a moody lighting and atmosphere. Let's see. And last but not least, this one that I think I spent like 2 streams doing, so a little bit more boring, nothing really happens. So I think this was one of the first ones. It was like a first attempt to recreate a believable environment and landscape. But yeah. Hey Cantabrian, hope you are doing well. Love all these keyframe pieces. I feel like I repeat myself, but they are brimming with atmosphere. Thanks, man. Means a lot. Thank you. Lucia, Finstra, first time I heard them. Though I'm not too knowledgeable of all the side chapters. Yeah, they are a little bit obscure. They are not very famous, but I mean, this novel is fantastic. It's it dives so well into the fantasy and of what a space marine is. I love it. It's one of my favorite Space Marines novels overall. It is fantastic. I mean, it's of course it's a Dan Abnett novel, so it's very, very good. They have a lot of personality. All right, so now let's close all of these and start working on Gregor Eisenhorn, or Jason Isaac as Eisenhorn. Sorry, I didn't know about their existence. Yeah, they are a little bit. They are not that well known. All right, thank you. The Blasphemer. Well, the Blasphemer. I really enjoy the Iron Snakes and the Inquisitor ones. Thank you. Lucia, I still need to finish the Horus Heresy books halfway through at the moment. Well, then you have plenty to go through. I'm reading at the moment the very last one, the one of the final battle between the Emperor and Horus, and it's epic. I'm really, really enjoying it. No spoilers, so don't worry. Apart from, yeah, Horus dies. But that is not really a spoiler, right? Everybody knows about that. So after that comes 40k for me. Save for the Necrons, of course. My Egyptian space terminators will always have my immediate attention. All right, so you are into the Necrons. Nice. All right, so let's start with it because it's almost half past and I haven't even done a single stroke, so yeah. Okay. So at the moment, my main concern or focus is how closer I want to get to the already canon and established look of the character. Of course, when in the context of a project of this nature, a film or series, I mean, you have to think that a character like any other person is not going to be always dressing in the same fashion, right? Depending on the timeline, the circumstance, and setting, they are going to be wearing a different set of clothes, right? But since this is a single piece that I'm going to be doing, I thought for recognition sake, I will go with the established look of Eisenhorn, but trying to give another take based on that on the canonical look of Eisenhorn. But I mean, he in the novels is plenty of times described in different ways of how he's dressed, right? But again, for the recognition sake, I'm playing safe and conservative, and we'll play around that original design and play a little bit with it. So you could say, or at least that's how I interpret it, is like this is his more official costume, like his as if he's going to go to like inquisitorial meeting or something with a superior or something, he will be dressing this way, or in a an how do you say, in an official and formal situation. As a representative of the office of the Inquisition, basically. Because if any of you remember or have read the books, the majority of the situations where all the action always happen, he's more or less undercover, right? So so he will never be dressed in such an obvious fashion as an inquisitor. I can put here for you guys to see the established and canonical look of Eisenhorn, right? With the miniature. So I'm basing the costume design on this original design, but then I will try to do it a little bit different and make it look a little bit more believable. I find that some of the so-called imperial fashion that is depicted or represented in miniatures, it feels a little bit awkward, or yeah, especially if you are supposed to be doing things around with them, right? So the important thing, or one of the main aspects or pillars, if you will, that I'm taking in consideration when doing the costume design in this case is that it needs to feel grounded. The same thing with the pistol that I will give him. Even though, if I recall, it was supposed to be a present from a space marine, so the size should be very big. But if it's a space marine, I think it would be too big just to hold it with one hand. So my take on it is that it would be, at the very least, being refurbished and modified, so it can be used by a normal human. Michael, Katerina, I love these cinematic pieces. Thank you. Tristan, this vision of Eisenhorn, it's so cool. Thanks. Lucia, your Eisenhorn reminds me of Timothy Dalton. All right. Well, I'm trying to show Jason Isaac, so I guess I failed. Michael, really hoping that the Amazon show will be based around Eisenhorn books. Yeah, same here. I think. I mean, yes and no. So if they go for something already established and recognizable, then yes, I think it's their best bet. Everything around Eisenhorn, Ravener, I think they are the best entry books for any outsider to the IP. They are fantastic in that regard. So yeah, I agree. But on the other hand, I think something that they could do, if they get very good writers to work on the shows, is to create something completely new. That would be fantastic. With the advantage that they don't need to adapt and fail at certain expectations with something that is already established. and the universe is so vast, the 40k universe, that there is plenty of room to create new things. Yeah. At least that's my 2 cents. But yeah, the character, the series of Eisenhorn and all its characters, they are fantastic. Yeah, Eisenhorn included, of course. Sergio Ponce, hey Miguel, Eisenhorn doesn't have a bald head. Well, yes, when he's much older, yes, but but not before. Like many men. So yeah, the when he's depicted as bald is like in his later years when he's excommunicado and he has become a rogue um, inquisitor. Tristan, do you like Warhammer Fantasy 2? Yes. I mean, Warhammer Fantasy, not Age of Sigmar. But I mean, that was like my entry point into the whole Warhammer thing when I was a kid. But as soon as I discovered Warhammer 40k, I just kind of put aside the fantasy one. But yes, of course, I like it. It's just a little bit. I never took Warhammer Fantasy as serious as 40k because it's more clear of a pastiche of lots of fantasy tropes, right? And it doesn't hide it, and which is fine. But on the other hand, 40k it has its own soul, and that's what appeals to me. That is its own thing. Even though it's yes, it has orcs, it has space elves, but they manage just to do it in such a way that it becomes something different, which is very nice. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, Lufia. Yeah, he goes bald later. And Ben, you uh, you are very precise. So exactly 189 years old. I definitely cannot recall to such level of detail, but yeah. it would be nice. I mean, I always found that these shoulder pads were a little bit excessive for the character. So I always envision them as something a little bit less a bit more subtle or lighter. I don't know. So maybe like some sort of padding of some sort. I mean, the problem with this type of things, I mean, you can do it. I could definitely try to go more literal, but it's some of these type of visual tropes within the universe that is very easy. That if you try to replicate it exactly the same, that it becomes like some sort of cosplay thing, and not like a believable dress or costume that somebody would wear. On the other hand, if it is still some sort of part of the dress, even though it can be armor to some degree, but it's more subtle. um, Michael, it feels weird that 40k is entering the mainstream now. I'm so used to it being a niche hobby. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I totally feel the same. And one fear of mine is that by becoming or getting into the mainstream, it will stop being what it is or what made it become what it is, right? Because yeah, the fear that they will try to cater to the mainstream when it's something very niche. So I hope that it maintains its soul. But yeah, difficult to say. But yeah, I agree. It feels very weird. Uh, Prof, face is based on the Nero? No, it's Jason Isaac. Bobarot, are you able to speak out your experience working with Games Workshop on box codex art at all? How much creative freedom do you get? How tight are the briefs? Is there much talk with the internal art team? Yeah, sure, of course, I can speak to a certain degree without entering into certain details, but yeah. So I get a lot of creative freedom, a lot. So of course, I always get a brief of what they are aiming for and what they need, which tend to be very technical, right? About dimensions, they need to fit certain space, etc., etc. And overall brief of what they what they are aiming for. But in general, I get a lot of creative freedom. Yes. So in that sense, it's extremely easy to work with them, and it's a very easygoing working relation in that sense. And the briefs are, like I said, it's in certain areas are very tight because they come to some technical requirements, but it's quite within certain degree they are quite open. So I have a lot of creative liberty. And yes, of course, it depends on the project and the things that I do. But yes, I get to talk. Well, I mean, I don't know what you mean with the art team, but with the book team, so the other illustrators, yes. In some cases that we have done some collaborations and stuff like that. So yeah, it's not the common thing, but yeah, it has happened. Cantabrian shoulder pads, like a thick boy leather with a gilded edge. I can imagine being in the costume department for an AC Horn character would be really fun. Yeah, that's kind of the my attempt here to do something of that kind. Not sure yet exactly how I want to accomplish that, but yeah, that would be what I was envisioning for it. Sergio Ponce Miguel, any news from Amazon or Cavill? I'm afraid not. Uh, 84 finally made it to the stream. Welcome, welcome. Even though we don't have much left, I'm afraid. But glad you made it. Okay, so the padding. What? Let's see. this is not working. Let's see. Kentavian, in all seriousness, I can't think of anyone more suited to be a principal artist on the Amazon production than yourself. With that, I will beat you well, man, with that, okay. Well, thanks, man. That's very kind of you. Yeah, as I mentioned many times, I would love to be involved with it. They definitely need people that understand deeply the setting, because as I mentioned many times, it's an IP that is extremely difficult to adapt and stay true to its spirit and soul. So yeah, it is. They need people that they at the very least understand deeply the IP. So yeah, I think I could have give a nice contribution in that regard, aside from my professional experience, of course. Another person that a person that I definitely feel very strongly that they must hire is Siama Pedersen. So the Astart is genius. Homa, for the next 2 months, I'm going to be working on portfolio pieces. Find your channel has been great. Okay, nice. What are you preparing your portfolio for, if I may ask? All right. I think it's getting late for me, so I'm gonna have to call it for today. Homa, actually for my class. Oh, a portfolio for my class? Ah, that you need to apply and I'm not sure how it works. But yeah, so just to apply for to attend to the class, right? Is it that? But well, fantastic. I'm touched that you want to take the class. Well, that's awesome. Bobado, thanks for your answers. I appreciate there is plenty of specifics you can't talk about. I was curious how working as a freelancer for Game Workshop is. It's been great seeing you tease your kill team box art. Yeah, no problem, man. And yeah, it is my experience so far. I cannot speak for others, but at least my experience has been very, very good. Very easy going. Very easy people to work with. Yeah. Okay, so illustration and characters, fantastic. Okay, cool. Well, hopefully see you on the course for next term, perhaps. Tristan, thank you for the stream. Okay, thank you for passing by. Homa, I have applied for the class on CGMA. I'm using it for motivation to make a new portfolio and push myself. No, that's awesome. That's fantastic. That's the right attitude. So very, very good, and looking forward to see you on the course for sure. But all right, guys, I need to wrap things up. So again, fantastic, like always, chatting with you. It's always a blast. Even though as a short stream as it is normally the case lately, but yeah, I cannot do anything about that. But yeah, regardless, it's an absolute. I have an absolute blast. So see you next week, same time, same place, and have a fantastic week. Stay safe and healthy. Paint and draw a lot. Have a lot of fun doing it, and see you next time. All right. And thanks for passing by and saying hello. Take care. Bye bye. Where is the button? Right, here it is. Okay. Bye bye.